starved right now. I haven't had lunch yet, so we'll be very brief today. No, it's chips. Yeah. I'm trying to eat healthy. It's going to be chips. Yeah. Hey, very excited to come to a Frozen Four. You know, every year is different. Every year is unique, and nobody's guaranteed this. So we start in September. You know, we sit down with our captains. We try to outline our team and some goals, some long-term goals, and of course, you know, at Boston College, we're looking at you know, a bean pot, a regular season trophy, a playoff championship. But in the back of our minds, it's always, hey, can we get back to the Frozen Four and compete for a national championship? And you know, we're not alone in this. I'm sure a number of the colleges now, that's what they all point toward. And but again, nobody guarantees it here. Lots of things happen between you know, when we start cutting the grass, finish cutting the grass in September, and if you're going to be cutting the grass now, like in April, you know you've achieved something very, very important. And so we're very proud of what we've accomplished. But again, we're not just here to look at the Liberty Bell and enjoy Philadelphia. We want to compete for the really shiny trophy that they have down in the hallway there.
Bill, your thoughts here? You've been cutting the grass lately?
Yeah, it's definitely exciting to be back here. It's the beginning of the year, like Coach said. This is our goal. Every year at BC, it's national championship, or you can't really consider your season a success. So we're all excited to be here, and looking forward to getting on the ice tomorrow.
Thatcher, you been to Philadelphia
I have not.
before? No, first time here.
Yeah.
How's things going so far?
Good. Everyone's really excited. The seniors and juniors are doing a great job of kind of helping the underclass guys just feel more comfortable in this situation. It was a good skate today, and we're really excited to get on the ice tomorrow.
Johnny, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I think Coach Billy and Thatcher did a good job summing that up. But yeah, we're excited to be back to Frozen Four and back here to Philly. Like Coach and Bill said, our goal all year was to get to Philly, and we're here now. And our next goal is to you know, win a national championship. And you know, all the guys are excited that we're here and we're ready to go.
All right, time for your questions. Right there in the back.
Jonathan Tannenwald from Philly.com. Johnny, you being from the Philly area generally, this is a region, as you know, that is nuts for hockey, but doesn't have college hockey and doesn't have sort of the grassroots hockey experience in the same way that Boston does, for example. What do you think they're missing down here by not having college hockey?
You know, I think they need to get a team down here first, maybe, and then you know, get some fans get excited about a team down here and at a college. But you know, I think hockey's getting bigger down here, and you see more players coming out of the area going to play in the USHL or the EJ, and then potentially get into Division I hockey. So, you know, it's good to see a lot more younger guys and a lot more New Jersey and around the Philly area getting to Division I college hockey. So, you know, if we can keep producing and keep increasing those numbers, you know, I think it'll be good for the area.
Hey, Bill, what's unique about the college experience? I mean, you've been through a few years here now. What's been some of the moments that you'll remember most taken away from your experience at BC? Not just on the ice, but off the ice.
Well, I guess to combine both those, the one thing Coach always says he wants his players to do is leave BC with a ring in one hand and a degree in the other. And at BC, that's what we're all about, and just getting the opportunity to do that and potentially, hopefully, leave with 2 rings. It's just been an incredible experience, and it was the best decision of my life to go to Boston College.
Kent, right here in the front. Kent.
Ken Chapman, the Schenectady Gazette. For Bill and Johnny, you played Union last year. What did you take out of that game? What do you have to do differently this time around?
Bill?
I mean, they definitely beat us pretty good last year, and I think that's fresh in everyone's mind. But it's a new year. We've got a completely different team, and I think we're much better. And I think they've obviously made it farther this year than they did last year, so they're a better team. And we're going to respect them as an opponent. And but like we've kind of been doing the last month here, we're focused on our game what we have to do to win. We know it's made us successful throughout the year, so that's our main focus here.
Johnny?
Yeah, going off Bill, last year we just got off coming from a 2012 national championship, and I think we didn't take our opponent too. I think we took a little too lightly. I mean, last year, the 2012 season, we had a great team, and we really had a great run at the end of the season. And I think we should have went into the game a little bit more motivated, a little bit more, focused. And this year, after that first loss against Union, I know a lot of the guys from our team last year didn't want to go through that again. So, all the guys are pretty motivated, and like Bill said, that 5-1 loss is pretty fresh in our minds, and we have a great team this year. So I'm excited for Thursday night.
Coach, maybe we can back up too. I know some of the group here from Philly is trying to get the college feel and what it's like. Obviously, you went to BC. You've been around it a long time. How could you sum up what college hockey is all about, the college experience?
Well, I think Penn State's going to bring that to the state, and certainly Robert Morris. So we're on the cusp of more expansion. I think Penn State making that commitment is going to really help other schools in this area really think seriously about hockey. But I think it used to be a real unique experience to the Northeast and Minnesota, and it's expanding so much now throughout the country. And I think the NHL, by moving into states like Arizona and California and Florida, our starting goaltender this year is Thatcher's from San Diego. We have a forward from Naples, Florida. So it's just expanding so much now where the recruiting process is, where the players are, that it's inevitable that we're going to have more Penn States, commit to college hockey. It's it's a combination of football and basketball. It's and soccer. We're all combined. It's very physical. It's a hard sport, but it's also got some fluidity to it, some creativity to it, and we're not the National Hockey League, which you're so familiar with, because we're a step below that. But certainly on the college campuses, it's very, very attractive, and the schools that participate in hockey, I think there's 50 at the Division I level. I'm very glad they are involved in this process.
Okay, right behind you.
Anthony Glizio with the Boston Globe. For Jerry, around this time of year, how difficult does it get preparing sometimes when you go against a team like Union, where you hardly play them and all you really have is film?
Well, I think we have to understand there's no lousy teams left. Everybody knows that. But this particular field is four of the strongest college hockey teams that you could imagine being placed here in Philadelphia. Everybody talks about the history and the tradition of the Minnesotas, the North Dakotas, the Boston Colleges, but Union's done an incredible job over these last number of years, and Rick Bennett is really has to be commended for what he's brought to Schenectady, New York. A small liberal arts school that doesn't offer full scholarships, doesn't have a history of success in college hockey, and right now everybody feels this is a toss-up. This field, if you follow college hockey, it's some favor Minnesota, some favor Union, some of course pick North Dakota, others pick Boston College, but there's no underdog, there's no prohibitive favorite. It's just four really good teams. So is it difficult to prepare for them? Oh, certainly, because they're good teams. But like Billy said, we're trying to make our team as strong as we possibly can. We've got really good players. We're trying to polish our systems and how we play, and but the excitement level around our team is right off the charts now.
We'll get to Dave in just a minute. A couple people I want to make you aware of if you don't already know them. Jim Knowlton is the athletic director at RPI. He is the chair of the Division I Men's Ice Hockey Committee. I think I saw Jim come in. Jim, would you stand up and say hi so people know you? Jim's certainly available to you if you'd like to talk to him about the championship and its future. Also, Kristen Fosbender from the NCAA is the director of this championship. Kristen, stand up and say hi. She's available to you as well. And if you do not know Mark Majewski, who we call Magic right here in the front from Boston College and their PR staff, stand up, Magic. Thank you. Good. Now, you've met a lot of people. We'll introduce the rest of the audience in a minute. But Dave, to your question.
Dave Hendrickson, USCHO. This is for Thatcher. You're a freshman. You haven't been on the stage before. You've got a very young defense in front of you, and yet you're going against the #2 offense in the country. What kind of things are you drawing on to prepare yourself for this challenge?
Like I said earlier, the upperclassmen have done a great job of kind of letting us know what to expect and that sort of thing. So, they've just kind of told us, coming in, there's going to be a lot of hype, but you got to make sure you play your game and don't change anything because we've had success this year, so we can't be, trying to change stuff, expecting, a different result just because it's on a bigger stage. We got to stay focused on us and make sure we're playing our game.
Okay, Thatcher, next time lean into the mic a little bit more. Thank you very much. Just trying to help you out because these audio guys, they get on me if I don't say that to these guys up here. Right here.
John Borg from Comcast Sportsnet, Philadelphia. This is for Coach York. I know Peter Laviolette's a Boston guy, and you had him, you got a chance to talk with him. Did he address the team at all, Coach?
He talked with a number of players afterwards. More importantly, he recommended a fabulous restaurant for us last night. We went to Spazzo's, which was a short walk from the hotel, and he was spot on there. Peter is, close to our staff. He's played on the Olympic team with Greg Brown. He knows Marty McGinnis, who's through the NHL network, and his presence in the locker room was just great for us. He's certainly one of our guys in hockey that we really are proud of what he's done, and I'm sure he's going to be coaching very soon at another NHL team. So it was just great to have him around the locker room and his presence here. So I've always liked Peter.
Billy, what'd you have at Spazzo's? Was it good?
Yeah, some chicken parm and veggies and some band playing for us too, which is kind of interesting.
What kind of music?
Not really sure.
Mummers?
String band.
Oh, string band.
Yeah, that's what they're like.
Cool. All right, what else do we have? Yes, sir. Right here.
Ryan Lambert from CHN for Jerry. Coming into the year, there was a little bit of a concern about the youth on your defense, and I think that those younger guys have certainly proven that they're capable of competing at this level. What have you seen from them in terms of where they are now versus where they came in?
Well, I think we recruited some very, very good players, but still they were all 18 when they started that freshman year, so they're young for college hockey. The maturity, though, doesn't reflect their age. They really conduct themselves very professionally. I think all three, Scott Savage and Steve Santini and Ian McCoshen, are vital cogs in how we've played this year. I thought from the blue line back going into the year, I thought we're going to be extremely young, with the goaltender, and of course Thatcher's won the job now, and but the three freshman defensemen now, there's two sophomore defensemen, Teddy Doherty and Mike Matheson. So really, our only experienced, 4-year player is Isaac McLeod back on defense. But when I look at that group, and we have so much attention on our offensive ability, but you have to be very strong, I think, in my opinion, to advance this far from the blue line back, and they've exceeded expectations. I knew they were going to be good, but I wasn't quite sure it'd be at this level this early in their careers. So I'm very, very happy with our D and goaltender.
Okay, right here.
Jeff Cox with SB Nation. For Coach, obviously your first line's gotten a lot of attention, but could you talk about Cangelosi and Fitzgerald and kind of how they've come along this year in their freshman seasons?
Yeah, it's interesting. We had Claude Julien speak to our team on Tuesday or Wednesday of this past week, and he had mentioned the fact that their success is not what you think it is just because of Chara and Bergeron and Lucic and Krejci. It's more the kind of the Campbells and Kellys that block shots, that kill penalties, that are kind of the glue to the team, and that he challenged all our top end guys to really recognize the fact that you're going to a Frozen Four because there's a lot of players contributing at different roles in the course of your season. And I think the players you just mentioned, Ryan Fitzgerald, Patrick Brown's at the center there, and Austin Cangelosi are players that are playing a critical role in our team, valued very much by our coaching staff and by our players sitting up here in the dais. So I think it's, you can have the marquee players, and you need those players to to be really good, but they have to have a supporting cast that does things also. It's not like, basketball where you start 5 players and they play the majority of the game. We're using, every night 18 players on a pretty regular basis.
Let's go to the questions for the players. We got give Coach York a break here, right here in the front.
Johnny, given your Ed Barkwood's Daily News Philadelphia, Johnny, given your ties to the area, is it special to be playing here?
Yeah, very special. I've got a lot of friends and family asking for tickets and stuff like that, and it's difficult to give them all tickets because I think we only get about 6 each. But I try to give them out a few to my friends, and my mother wasn't having too much of it because I had to give them all to the family. But it's good to have people wanting tickets and wanting to come to watch the game. So I'm really excited for this weekend.
John, you've played here before. You're familiar with Wells Fargo, right?
Yeah, I played a little Mites on Ice, so that's about it.
All right, right behind you.
Johnny, if I read this all right, your brother's
Excuse me, could you?
Jonathan Tannewell from Philly.com. If I read this right, your brother's getting to make this trip with you as part of this team. How special is that for you?
Yeah, it's been really special. We got the chance to go win a national championship my freshman year, and that was really, really special because of the great group of guys. And we got another great group of guys this year. And it's been a great year so far, but it's been even more exciting to have Maddie around the locker room, and getting to be with him every day. BC's been like home to me these past 3 years, but it's feel even homier now because I got Maddie there and get to mess around and joke around with him all the time and give him a hard time. So it's been a fun year so far this year.
Incidentally, Johnny Gaudreau, only the 7th player since 01-02 to eclipse the 70-point mark in college hockey, so you'll get a chance to witness that. If you haven't, I have the complete list that I'll be happy to share with you after. Right here in front, Dave.
This is for Bill. Your line is known as being just the top scoring line in college hockey, but you're known as being the guy who kind of holds the defensive key to that. Can you talk about kind of the importance of you guys keeping Union off the scoreboard since they're such a good scoring team as well?
Well, obviously as a line we like to score goals, but we all 3 of us really embrace a two-way game, and just talking about Johnny specifically, he's super offensive, like he has over 70 points, but whenever you ask him what he wants to work on, he's always saying improve on his defensive play, and he's really embraced that. And so as much as we like to score goals, we know if we get scored on, we have to put 2 in to be a positive for the team. So it's a lot easier just to keep them off the board and make sure we're helping our team by scoring goals every chance we get.
Right here in the front.
Ken Schaff from the Gazette. Johnny, for you, a couple weeks ago on the conference call, I asked you, about Shane being the roommate. Any good stories? I mean, Shane told me you guys had some problems with, obviously watching TV over there in Ufa, and also were you kind of surprised that he didn't make the Hobie hat trick?
Yeah, we had a few problems. I mean, we couldn't get one English channel on TV, so I'm trying to watch as much TV as I could because there's nothing to do out there. So I don't know. I think we were watching like Sports Center or whatever they got over there in like Russian. So it was difficult to watch that. But yeah, he's a great player, and he brought his team here as one of the captains and got his team down in Frozen Four, and he's an exceptional player and great defensive, offensive player. So. Yeah, I'm definitely surprised to not make it. He's a great player, but yeah, he's a good player. So probably should have been in it.
Any good food there in Ufa?
Not too much.
What else do we have? Did I miss hands? Okay, in the back there. Sorry, I can't see.
Andy Merritt from the New England Hockey Journal. Bill, there's a couple players on this team that are going to move on to the pros after this weekend. Going to move on to the pros after this weekend. You're one of them, and obviously that's great. But this is the end of your BC career this weekend, one way or another. What does that do for you going into this game, into this weekend? How does that change your thinking about this?
Well, first of all, I don't think anyone in our locker room is thinking about what's going to happen after this weekend. Everyone's focused on taking this day by day and getting better every day. And I'm certainly in no rush for this week to be over. I've loved my time at BC, and it would mean a lot to me to go out on a high note with the national championship. So that's where all my focus is right now.
Okay, back here.
Lieutenant Will from Philly.com for Thatcher. I know you grew up in San Diego, went to high school in Michigan, and now you're here. And your coach talked a little while ago about how much college hockey and hockey in general are growing in parts of the country where it used to not be. So for you being from San Diego, to have made this journey to now be where you are and be at the Frozen Four, what's it like for you?
It's awesome. We've had a lot of Californian players kind of come up and play in college hockey and play in major junior and also play in the pros lately, and it's just been good to kind of serve as an example for some other Californian players to show that it can be done, and just through hard work you can get to places that you want to go in the college world.
Got a follow up there. Yep. Go ahead, sir.
How and when did you know that you wanted to go to BC?
I think my freshman year, that's the first time that I was exposed to college hockey, and I kind of just saw BC as one of the better teams in the country, and kind of saw their history and was attracted to that, and it was always kind of down the road for me. And then when they started talking to me a little bit in my junior year, that's when I really knew that that's a place that I definitely wanted to go.
5:06 tomorrow night, Boston College. That will be the home team. Face off against Union. Further questions? Anybody? All right. Oh, yes, sir. Right here in the front.
This is for Johnny. Johnny,
Could you
Mike
introduce
Shute-
yourself, please?
Yeah, Mike Shute from the South Jersey Sports Digest. I just wanted to touch base with you about matching up with Charlie Vestatura. I know you know him very well from South Jersey. Just talk about maybe what you expect to see from him.
Yeah, he's a really good player, great defenseman. So it's gonna be tough tomorrow night. I always get to play with him down in South Jersey, and whether it's shinny or whether we're practicing or whatever. He's a great defenseman, and it's gonna be tough playing against him. I know they got a lot of really good and talented D, so it's gonna be fun to get to play against him too.
Anything else? Incidentally, Jocko Connolly is the dean of the media contingent, 31st year covering this championship from the Boston Herald. If you haven't met Jocko or you need a tidbit of history, you can see him, certainly. We'll point him out to you. Or Coach York. Been here a lot as well. That's it. Thanks very much. We'll be